Hey everyone! Hopefully, short video this week. But if you're new to my channel, hey, my name's Teresa. I do videos on whatever I want because I don't like putting myself in a box. And today, I thought I would just give you a massive update because I have a lot of appointments coming up this week. The biggest one being that my neurological exam is coming up on Friday. I finally got that scheduled. I kept having to call them and being like, "Hey, nobody has called me to schedule this thing. I've done the new patient um, paperwork. Is it all correct? Did you guys get it? Like, what's going on?" They finally called back the next day after I sent an email, and we got it scheduled for Friday. They called on Friday, actually, and we got it scheduled. So it will be a telehealth appointment, which I think will be very interesting. I'm hoping the results stay the same. I definitely know it will stay the same when it comes to the dyscalculia part because that has always been my primary disability. And I know I definitely have it because I was out and about with a client on Friday and asked me what 10% off of an item that was like $9.99 was. And I was like, "Pff, I don't know." And we accidentally, I accidentally had her like subtract like 10% from $9.99 of the item, even though I know full well that you're supposed to like divide or whatever. So that will all come out correctly. The dyscalculia will definitely come back like positive, if you will. The ADHD, I will be very, very curious about. I will be very surprised if that does not come back at all. If they're like, no, you don't have ADHD, because I definitely do. They literally called me to set up this appointment, you guys, and I was driving a client around. Not my best day with the client. That's all I'm going to say about that, and can say about that. And we were pulling up into the Walmart parking lot, and I was like, I have to take this call because every time I have called um, their office, I it just goes to voicemail because I don't know like the extension of like who to call or whatever. And so I miss them every single time. So I'm like, okay, they're calling me, like I'm calling them. Because if they try to call me when I am in the office of where I work, we have such bad reception. So it's a high possibility that if they have tried to call me while I am in office, that I just completely missed their call. So I literally called them as I was driving into the Walmart parking lot, and the lady was like, "So did you get the email that I sent?" And I was like, so I'm kind of doing something a little dangerous right now, and I'm trying to find a parking spot in Walmart." And so I was like, crap, if that's not proving my possible ADHD right now, I don't know what is. So I will be very, very surprised if the ADHD does not come back positive because, yeah, if that didn't prove it, I don't know what does. Um, and yeah, I've had some clients, one specifically, who I told him about this evaluation coming up. And he was like, yeah, you are a little bit ADHD, and I'm like, "Thanks, dude." But it's all good. So, yeah, we'll see if that comes up. I don't know how that will work with the, like, telehealth or whatever, so that'll be interesting to see. Interesting enough, I was going back through, like, my IEP, from high school, and I've looked through other, like, IEPs before, and they all have, like, diagnosed things like ADHD and stuff in them, but mine doesn't have that. So I don't know how this lady ended up saying, like, "Oh, you don't pay attention in class, but then all the teachers put, "Yeah, she pays attention in class," but then didn't put anything about, like, ADHD or anything, um, in it. So I don't understand that. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me with how I know the testing to go when it comes to school stuff, and yeah. So, anywho, so that will all be very, very interesting on Friday. I did decide to do telehealth because their office, apparently, the one that I got matched with, is like 2 hours away from here, or something like that. 2 or 3 hours away from here. And I have another appointment the day before. I have my dermatologist the day before, and he is going to possibly do a biopsy the day before. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that he doesn't. Um, I f- I kind of feel like he's not going to if he doesn't really know what he's looking for, which at this point he really doesn't. He doesn't have a clue what he's looking for, unless he's been doing some research on the spot on my forehead, which you guys can see. It's definitely not as um like noticeable on camera as it is in like person or whatever. And so yeah, he I don't know if he's gonna end up doing that or not. I'm hoping that he doesn't because I really don't want to have to take 2 days off this week. But I also just don't want to like pay for it, to be honest. So yeah, I'm hoping that he doesn't end up doing it. Also because had a client that's been gone for like 2 months, and that client is returning on Thursday as well. And so um, I kind of want to be there Thursday to see this client. And so, yeah. So dermatologist Thursday, neu- neurology, whatever exam evaluation on Friday, which I'm just so excited about. And surprisingly, this one's only an hour long. Everybody that I've talked to that's had it done back in my hometown has told me that it's like a 3 hour long thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But apparently it's only like an hour long process. Maybe they changed the process since then, or maybe this is just like a state to state kind of like situation. But yeah, only like an hour long process, which makes sense because yeah, I don't know. But the two big things we're looking for is the dyscalculia and the ADHD, which you can definitely rule out with like one testing, I feel like. And so only an hour long process where everybody else I've talked to has it's like a 3 hour long process. And I'm actually happy that I'm not doing it in person because it is very intense and whatever. And I live alone, and so I don't have anybody to like drive me back. Because I've had people tell me like there's a portion of the test where they wear like flashlights and you have to see how well you focus while trying to like find like a number or something during the process or something like that. I'm like, I would love to see somebody who's you know, what am I trying to say? Who's neurotypical, um, divergent, non-divergent, or whatever. Um, do this and see how they do on it. But yeah, so because I don't have somebody to like drive me after it, because people I've spoke to have said because of that, they've gotten like really dizzy from the testing. So it's important to have like a designated driver afterwards. Um, I live alone, so I don't have anybody to like drive me afterwards. Um, yeah, it's so I'm kind of happy that I'm doing it like telehealth wise, and so um, and that's an option. So anywho, So yeah, got the dermatologist on Thursday, got the evaluation on Friday, and then Tuesday I ended up having to squeeze my doctor in as something came up, and so got to get that checked out. And so got to do that on Tuesday before work. And like I said, literally just seeing like everybody. So it's gonna be one heck of a week. I was so tired last week because I finally got my car registered in the state of Montana, and I almost didn't because I walked in there with the wrong title form or whatever the wrong title that I had because we don't have the like original title because that's gotten lost in time. And so finally got that done and taken care of, and then literally the next day I had my allergy shots, and so I was so tired Thursday, I fell asleep literally at 9 o'clock. And so, yeah, I'm gonna be so tired this week as well with all these early morning appointments because I'm doing all of my appointments early in the morning, mainly because right now I don't get, PTO with my job until I've been there for 6 months, and so yeah, that's the situation with that. And thank the Lord, my primary doctor is open at like 7 in the morning. And luckily with my allergy shots, I can do them as early as like 7:30 in the morning. Um, the dermatologist is the only one that I can't do super early in the morning. But yeah, and this evaluation I can't do early in the morning, but I already gave work a heads up and I'm like, "Hey, this is what's going on. Um, I'm probably gonna take the day off." So just pre-warning. So, and luckily they totally understand because with working with the clients that we do, a lot of our clients do the same thing and they totally know how this goes down. So, that's the update, you guys. I will definitely update you guys once we kind of know the results of that neurology evaluation. I don't know if I'm going to end up having to go back to my primary and talk to her about the results. I don't know if that's how it goes. Hang on, you guys. My foot's falling asleep. There we go. Or what that looks like afterwards, or if you just talk with the provider that's doing the evaluation or whatever. So I think it would be talking with the provider doing the evaluation. That would make the most sense. But then I think also maybe having to talk to your primary about, I don't know, the results as well. If both of you, maybe it's between both of you guys to decide then, like you and the primary, to decide about, you know, treatment options. Like I stated in, I think it was the last video, not probably not the last video, the video before that. Um, I said that I'm really nervous if, any kind of medication is recommended because I don't know much about those medications. And I do know that a lot of them have the side effect of weight gain. And honestly, I stopped taking Fenterman now since I finished the prescription um, on Tuesday. And I've already gained like 3 pounds, and I'm actually very close to being like obese again. And I'm just really worried about that and being clinically like diagnosed again as like obese and stuff. And I don't really know if this all kind of like plays into like a potential, okay, trigger warning here because I'm about to talk about EDs, but if this all plays into a potential like ED, and this is like really hard for me because I'm a closed adoptee. I don't know if I'm at risk for an ED. And I think a lot of times when we think about EDs, we talk about, the other side of it where people obviously stop eating, and that's obviously not a good thing. Um, I don't know if there's anything for an ED where it's like you're in your head with numbers and I don't count calories. This is a main reason why I never started counting calories. But you're in your head about numbers and BMI and just like the number on the scale. And so, yeah, I don't know if there's anything to like categorize that. But on the other hand, being a close adoptee, um, I don't know the medical history either. And I also know, though, because of my race, I know that South Asians and Indians in particular are at higher risk for developing things like diabetes. And that is why I decided to start a weight loss journey in the first place. So it's being caught between like a rock and a wall. And so it will be interesting if, there's a potential diagnosis too of an ED. I don't know if that's something they can um, diagnose with that testing, neurological testing as well, or just because, psychological exam, if they can test it as well. Throughout conversation, I did find um, I don't know why I'm saying so much. I really apologize for that, you guys. The pre paperwork that I did was talking about like stressors and stuff for like a month before whatever. And I really try to focus on the main thing of adoption trauma. And that was really hard because I was like, well, technically, it hasn't been bad for like the past like month, but like adoption trauma is always with me. It's the fact that like things can trigger it just through normal everyday conversations. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that sentence. So, anyways, um, yeah, but even things now, I've kind of, as I'm talking, I'm realizing like a potential, again, trigger warning, talking about a potential ED, um, potentially having like an ED is kind of at the forefront here too in my life because a lot of people at work are talking about like weight loss and stuff. And here I am, gone through a weight loss journey, done amazing at it, and gained 14 pounds back. And have been trying to like lose that 14 pounds back, but have gained about like 3 pounds now back, which isn't a bad thing, to be honest. But I've also been eating out a lot, which really sucks when working with clients. I have a client all day Wednesday who eats out, which I think that's fine, to at least do it once a week, because I think that's normal. Again, like I think that's a totally normal habit. And then I have another one that will eat out on Friday, but I think I'm gonna end up telling her like if I don't have anybody before you, the last 2 weeks I've had people before her. And then I'm like, yo, I need lunch because otherwise I'm not gonna like make it through my time with you if I don't eat something. Um, but I'm gonna maybe bring it up like, hey, like I know your situation right now. Um, but also like if I don't have somebody before you, I'm gonna make a conscious effort to like eat beforehand so we're not like eating out together if that's okay with you. And I think she'll totally understand that. But yeah, so when you kinda have that noise of people around you being like, "Hey, we're wanting to lose weight too," and they're talking about the same medication that you were on, it's like, ugh, but it's good because obviously, like, I want them to succeed, on the medication and stuff, especially if this is their first time being on the medication. I'm like, "Hell yeah, like, see if it works for you," because it did wonders for me the first time I was on the medication. It just sucks now that, like, I'm struggling. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that, like, comes about. It'll be interesting too if, like, adoption trauma comes about as well, which it definitely should because I'm like, no, this has been something that I've been struggling with for the, like, past year or so. Um, and it's a really unique experience. And so I'm hoping that through this evaluation too, it will open doors for me to, like, go back to therapy because I really need to go back to therapy. Um, and so yeah. So this did not end up being a short video, but next week I will just fill you in if I have all the results from that. And if I need to, like, go back to my primary, I'll let you know. My poor primary is gonna see me way more than she probably wants to. Um, but I will let you know. And yeah, I messaged her last week sometime. I think I messaged her on Friday just to let her know that the evaluation's coming up. So maybe she'll let me in on being like, hey, once we have the results, like, you are gonna have to come in and we're gonna have to do a follow-up. And I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. See you then. See you in a couple days then. So yeah, because I don't know how I feel about medication. Um, because I know a lot of, like, ADHD medications do cause weight gain, and that's what I'm avoiding over here. So, and she knows that. We've talked about that before. And so, yeah, okay. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I did, on the bright side, you guys, I did go to my first Pride parade yesterday. It was really cool, but it was really short, and I was kind of disappointed in that. I'm not gonna lie. But it was really cool to see the community out. There was quite a few people, and it just made me really happy because I just love that there's more, like, stuff to do during Pride Month here, and that just makes me really happy. So I hope you all have a good rest of your week. Is it the last full week of January? January. Sure, why not? Oh my gosh, it's the last full week of June, and then literally 2 days next week. And then we're into July. Where is summer going? Like, this is crazy. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. For all those in my LGBTQ community as well. Why did I just say my? I don't even own it. Nobody owns it. Um, for all those celebrating with me, um, enjoy it. And it's our month, and just celebrate, be safe, and yeah. Okay. I will talk to you guys all later. I'll see you next week. I love you guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.